Good afternoon, and welcome to today's Power Boost. Our topic today is good things come to those who wait. Not a topic I'm sure that you are unfamiliar with, but a topic that is always relevant. Every day, every situation requires solutions. And more often than not, we have a lot of anxiety, especially if it's something that we consider very important, or if it's a situation that has been pending for a while, or if it's a condition that you're dealing with that you're anxious to have resolved. There's so many circumstances that require patience and time. But most of all, what is required is confidence in the outcome. Confidence in the outcome. And so what that tells you always is that the solution rests with you. In other words, when you're waiting for an outcome, usually that means that whatever you were required to do, whatever the situation warranted, you've already done. In other words, it's already out of your hands. And so the anxiety and the worry is usually misplaced because it's not a situation that is pending based on something that you have to do. It's usually based on something that you've already done, and you're waiting for an outcome that you are concerned about. And so what's really meant by the understanding that we're discussing today, that good things will come, is having that trust that you've already done everything that's required to do that is right. And if you haven't, if you've already done what you thought was best, and maybe you have fallen short, or there was some misjudgment on your part, well, the anxiety and the worry won't really help the situation. What will help the situation is your readiness to deal with the outcome. And by readiness, meaning accepting whatever the outcome is and making a decision that it is positive, meaning how you will deal with that outcome. You will deal with it from a position of strength, shall we say, a position of understanding, a position that would be required of you to not find yourself where you are making the outcome something that will have you be in a position of any weakness or in a position of anything that is too compromising. And so your confidence is really what's required. And a lot of the time, what we do is if there's a lot at stake, especially, and by a lot at stake, it could be your reputation. It could be something that you are depending on, or in many cases, someone that you're depending on. And where you make a mistake is in relying on a source outside of yourself to maintain that calmness, maintain that confidence, maintain that certainty. And so what we're talking about today is a function of how you manage your thinking, how you manage your mindset, and how you, by being in charge of that, you manage the outcome. And I would say that the operative word, if you will, is calmness. The operative word is having a sense of peace, that whatever the outcome is will be acceptable, and that you can, by being calm, uncertain, manage it forward from there so that you have that completion that's needed and you can move forward. And so this is not something that we arrive at all of a sudden, meaning this, this way of managing things. We have an opportunity every day to be at peace, to be at a state of self-control, to be in a state of that equilibrium that we need to maintain at all times. And having that control, having that confidence, comes from the daily approach that we take to things. And that approach is something that you can practice. And so one simple habit that we can begin to cultivate is that habit of making sure that you are being clear, that you are being honest and truthful, and that you are being reliable, and that you are always on purpose, meaning that clarity will give you the purposefulness that you need with every situation. And so you can manage yourself with every situation, and that will give you the kind of confidence that we're talking about, that will allow you to be very certain about the outcome. And so while you wait, you're not waiting in anxiety, but you're waiting in certainty. You're waiting in confidence that whatever the outcome is, you will be able to go forward from there without having any regrets, any resentment, or any dissatisfaction in any way, so that you have a relationship with all of your activities that puts you in charge and puts you at cause at all times rather than at effect. And so if you think about that for a moment, whatever you are dealing with now, whatever situation you're anxious about, whatever situation is causing you to have to thinking that you may have a problem, well, that kind of approach is negative. It puts out there the kind of vibrations that would create an environment of uncertainty. And so you want to be in a state of certainty at all times and have that confidence that what you have done and what you will have to do will always be the right thing. And that comes from that foundation of certainty and of truth and being measured in every way that allows you to have that equilibrium. And so as we look around at all that we're dealing with in our personal lives, and especially in our personal relationships, what we want is to develop that confidence and that certainty. And so these daily practices that will support that, of course, is you rise to each occasion with the understanding that the outcome is going to be exactly as you would want it to be. And so you go into that situation, making sure that at your end, at least, the things that you have the control over, that you have done those things. And as you are waiting, the only thing that you may want to do is to go over that, whatever checklist you have. And as long as all of those things are covered, then you can set it aside and just wait. And it's the waiting that I know causes the anxiety. However, be confident and be certain. And that certainty comes from within. And it's a time of uncertainty that we're in. And so this conversation today is going to be very relevant as we go forward with all of so many things that are not necessarily in our control. But what we have control over is how we are responding to it. And so controlling your response, controlling your wait, controlling that period of time when the solution will emerge is what you have control over. And that comes from that calmness within. And so today, I just want to go through with you a self-talk, as you will, if you will, that you can work with always in situations where there is anxiety and concern. And so just take a moment as we are with each other at this time, and let's together build that confidence, build that certainty that all is well, all is always as it should be. So let's sit with that for a moment. All is well, all is as it should be. All is well, all is as it should be. And each day, as I go through life, as I go through my daily routine, as the confidence that I need emerges, I will remember that all is well, all is as it should be. We cannot correct the past. We can determine the future. And just keep in mind that what I'm experiencing now is a function of my past actions. And what I will experience in the future will depend on what I do now, what I think now. All is well, all is as it should be. All is well, all is as it should be. Today, tomorrow, and every day. And just experience that calmness within, experience that confidence within, experience that certainty within. And let go. What experience you are having now, what feelings, what sensations, every thought. Have every thought be aligned with that certainty, with that calmness, with that confidence. All is well, all is as it should be. Thank you.